This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. This is what we're doing for Monday Night Football. I want to bring your attention to the far right side of the screen, my left. You might notice a little something special, a little something different that we just dropped. I'm recording this on Wednesday. We just dropped super late Tuesday night in prep for the NFL season. If you have already been playing around with the PlayerProps.ai app, as you should be, because there's the free version you already have access to, and you should be playing around with it and learning all the tools. And then again, for the people that are new, to learn how to use the tools, you just click on the button that says Tap to Learn. It will teach you how to use the tool, but there's something very new here, and it's right over here to the right side. This is new. This is something we've had for almost an entire year now, the total predictor. And what the total predictor did is it predicted the game total, which was both scores combined. That's what the AI is doing here. This is what the available line is here. And then we just kind of show you the difference and everything and the projected side here. But a lot of you have been requesting, Travis, for the love of all that's holy, can you please add something that is not full game combined score, but instead team-specific score projections? And lo and behold, may I present to you the AI team total predictor. Pop. Yeah, we added it. So now you can see this on DraftKings, and I believe we just added it for FanDuel this morning. If you choose any of the other ones, it won't show as of this recording anyway. But as devs get more time, they're going to build it in for all of the sources that we have. And then we're also going to be adding this for other sports as well. Right now, it's launching with just NFL, because NFL starting in just over 24 hours from now. But it's going to be added for NBA, for WNBA, for MLB, NHL, all that jazz. So yeah, right now, just DraftKings and FanDuel. So let's go ahead real quick and kind of go over, because this is a brand new tool that just launched in between two videos I recorded. Let's kind of go over what you should be looking at using the Monday Night Football game, which this whole entire episode is about. So this is not saying that we're definitely going to be locking in something for Monday Night Football, but let's go over what you're looking at. So these three, so there's two columns of three cells, or three, yeah, I think cells is the best word there. If it's under the left side for the away team, this is all in reference to the logo and team it is under. So we see Minnesota here. All of this stuff is for Minnesota. We see Chicago Bears here. All of this stuff is for Chicago Bears. So let's go through it one by one here. All right, so the line right now on DraftKings is Minnesota Vikings are going to score over or under 22.5. So the line that you have to bet on DraftKings for Minnesota, specifically for Monday Night Football, 22.5. And then what we do here is we show you the most favored side based on odds. It's showing us over minus 115, so that means the under is not as favored as minus 115. It could be minus 110, minus 105, even plus 100. It could be something along that, but it's not minus 115, which is why we show the over. So I think it's still the same. Let me actually go back to Thursday Night Football, and I'll show you a different scenario here. Okay, that's the same scenario. It looks like that's the same. Okay, here we go. So you see here that it says OU and OU. If on the sports books, the odd is the same exact value on the over and the under, we will show OU. So we're going to show both of them. So when we look at this Dallas line here for Thursday Night Football, we know that the over is minus 113 and the under is minus 113. So that's what the OU means, is that We're showing you the odds, and it's the same on both sides. So one side is not more favored than the other side. So that's what that means. So let's go back to Monday Night Football here. And a lot of I show you in these videos what I'm doing to find things on the app. I still have way too many of you that aren't watching what I'm doing. And I don't know if it's because you're fast forwarding to the end because you don't care enough about your financial success, that you don't put in the effort and the work that's needed to be successful in sports betting. But people are saying, why can't I see any NFL stuff? And they have it selected, and this was like yesterday or Monday, the 1st and the 2nd. There's no NFL games on the 1st and the 2nd. That's why you can't see NFL stuff. This calendar has been there since day one. You have to change to a date that has the league on it. So right now, we're currently looking at Thursday Night Football because I was referencing the OU odds. And now we're going back to Monday Night Football, so we have to choose Monday's date. This is how it's always has been. That is how you find it. If we don't have anything showing, that means we have no projections available for that day. So if we choose like way far in advance, like the 29th, 30th, you're not going to see anything. But we typically have all of the NFL stuff for the week of. So Monday. So let's say it's September 8th. Monday Night Football ends on Tuesday the 9th, which is your boy's birthday, by the way. On Tuesday the 9th, we have... We'll probably get by the end of the 9th, like Thursday data in and Thursday projections. And then probably by Wednesday, we'll have Sunday and Monday Night Football. But that's just how it works. So this weekly sports is kind of like a week in advance. For the daily stuff, it's typically just a day in advance. So now we're going back to Monday Night Football. So we, like I said, we only have this right now for NFL, and we only have built this in as of this recording because the devs are still actively working on adding this for the other sports books. The reason why I'm going back between FanDuel and DraftKings is I'm trying to see here, which we're going to go through what all this stuff means again in a second, but I'm trying to see which one has the biggest difference. So let's just focus on FanDuel for right now. Again, we just talked about this. The line on the sports book, I mean, we had DraftKings selected, so it doesn't matter. The line for the sports book for the Vikings is 22.5. I just showed you the example with Thursday Night Football, that if it's OU, it means the odds are the same. If there's only one, that means there actually is a favored side based on what the sports book is telling us. This, of course, is the AI projection here. So the line on DraftKings for the Vikings is 22.5. The projection for the Vikings is 23. So this number is what the AI is saying. And because the AI is saying this, and because this is what you can bet on, or this is the line the books give us, this is the actual bet projection. So this is the, I guess you can call it the value projection, but this is the bet you're actually placing. Because the projection is higher than the line, we're going over 22.5, and the odds for over 22.5 on FanDuel for DraftKings for Minnesota Vikings is minus 115. So in the parentheses is the bet you place. This is just showing you why we're placing that bet, because the projection is 23 and the line is 22.5. And what we do down here in difference is we simply show you the difference. Green up arrow, that means the projection is higher than the line, and this will show you by how much. The projection is 0.5 higher than the bettable line. And then we get over here to Chicago. Same thing. This is what the favored side is. This is what the projection is. This is what the actual bet you would place would be. And then this is the difference. Because the projection is lower than the available line, it's red down arrow, and the difference is minus 2.5. But if you're paying attention on the screen when I was going back and forth between DraftKings and FanDuel, the difference is higher on FanDuel than it is on DraftKings. But when you go back and forth, the projection does not change. The projection's the same, but the line is what's different. If you were to bet this on DraftKings, you would have to bet under 21.5 points. But because I've been teaching you for the last 18 months that picking the app or the sports book with the best line and the best odds is incredibly important to your betting success, we already know that we're betting under because the projection is less than the line, right? We already know we're going under. If you're going under on anything, You want the highest line possible because it gives you the most cushion. So you get an extra point here by betting under Chicago Bears points on FanDuel than you do on DraftKings. DraftKings is 21.5, FanDuel's 22.5. So here's a scenario of why it's so important that you shop for lines. What happens when everybody places this bet on FanDuel or whatever other book has a potentially higher line, and you bet this on DraftKings, and then the Chicago Bears score 22 points exactly? If the Chicago Bears, let's just say there's only two sports books that exist in the world, FanDuel and DraftKings. Let's say everybody that listens to me goes and does it on FanDuel. But let's say because you have some loyalty to DraftKings for whatever reason, because they hate you and they want to see you lose. Let's say your loyalty is for DraftKings and you don't have a FanDuel account because you haven't opened one up yet because you like shooting yourself in the foot. Anyway, everybody and their mom is betting under Chicago Bears 22.5. But then you go, you know what? I like DraftKings Sportsbook better. And you do under 21.5. If the final score is 22, everybody on the planet hits their bet except for you. Because 22 is not less than 21.5, but 22 is less than 22.5. That is why it's so important to shop for the best lines possible. And we have two tools to help you do that. We have two comparison tools. We have the props comparison that compares prop lines, and we have odds comparison that compares the best team stuff like this. However, because this has just been built within the last 12 hours, it is not, the team stuff is not added to the odds comparison yet, but it will be maybe by the time this game starts, but it's going to be added soon. So that's how that works in a nutshell. Do we know exactly what type of difference we're looking at? Not necessarily, but I can assume that a 3.5 difference is a pretty good chunk because it's similar to the game stuff. So people ask, like, what kind of difference do we look for the game stuff? And I go, well, 3 is a pretty solid number. If you ever see 3 here, 2.28 is not too shabby of going the under here. But I think 3.5 is a whole lot better than 2.28. So I would probably lean to doing under Bears 22.5 than the whole game going under 44.5. Because if you bet this, if you bet under 44.5 and Minnesota goes bananas, J.J. McCarthy just like hits Justin Jefferson like old school Randy Moss and throws for 3 touchdowns on 3 catches and 170 yards, whatever that crazy stat line was that Randy Moss had for the Vikings. If the Vikings go bananas, and they score themselves like 40 points, then of course you're probably going to lose this bet. But this allows the Vikings to go bananas, but as long as the Chicago Bears don't also go bananas, you can still hit this bet. So long story short, that is how to use the brand new team total predictor. Now, let us focus on the player prop predictor specifically for this date, which again is Chicago versus Minnesota. So the first thing I want to toggle is I want to check quickly if there's any under trifectas, and there are not. So the next thing we do, if there's not any, we always start on receiving yards because that's what made us so much money last season. So now we're only showing players that have a 40 or higher receiving yard line, which there are 2 Chicagos and 2 Minnesotans. I don't know, Minnesotans? I'm not sure how to say that. TJ Hawkinson. So we have 1 tight end, TJ, and 3 receivers. JJ, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, and Romeo Dunze. There's not really any significant difference. TJ has the highest. He's got 8.7. That's the highest positive difference. And then did I say Romeo? I think I said Romeo when I first said his name. Technically, his first name and his last initial is Romeo. So there. But his difference is under, but it's not by that much. And it looks like, because we're on FanDuel, that FanDuel has this. FanDuel's very cautious about getting their butt spanked. So they do the same odds for both over and under for a lot of college football stuff and a lot of NFL stuff at the very beginning because they don't want to get their butts kicked. But what's good to note is on DraftKings, there is a trifecta because DJ Moore's line is a whole lot less on DraftKings than it is on FanDuel. So we actually have one trifecta here. DJ Moore over receiving yards. He did pretty good in his last, 8 games. He hit 6 out of the last 8. He's got a 50% head-to-head. So the last time he versed Minnesota, he only got 46, and that was this is a division game, so he versed them twice last year at Minnesota. So this game is at Chicago. At Minnesota, he got 46, which was like essentially one more catch away from hitting his line. But when he was versing Minnesota at home, which this game is, he went off for 106 yards. Again, I feel like the chemistry, I don't know if the Chicago Bears are going to be good this season, but Caleb Williams has to be better this year. And even when he wasn't, let's just say he's the exact same, if he can still give DJ Moore 106, which we don't even need. We're not betting on him to get 106. We're just betting on him to get 50 or whatever the props comparison says, which is what we're going to next. So he's the only receiving yards prop for Monday Night Football that makes sense. So now we're going to see, does anybody have a better line than 49.5 if we're going over? And for whatever reason, this went back to today's date, so let's go back to Monday. So we are looking for DJ Moore. So the lowest possible line right now out of all sports books is 49.5 because there's when this goes gray here, this arrow on the right side, that means there's no lower line. If it's green on the upside, that means we have a higher line. So it's 54.5 on these books, 55.5 here, and 57, 58, 59. So a lot of sports books have a lot higher line. I would jump at this real quick on DraftKings at minus 144. It's only 49.5. So that's what we're doing for the prop side of things. Now, going back to the team stuff, if you've been watching all the videos I've been dropping for week 1, we have depending on when you're watching this, there's a Thursday night video. There's a Sunday main slate, 1 p.m., 4 p.m. game videos. There is a Sunday night football video. There is a week 1 Survivor League. So I'm competing in the biggest Survivor contest in the world. If I'm the last survivor in the NFL Survivor contest, I get $15 million. It's literally the biggest one in the world. And so I'm showing you what I'm doing in those videos. So if you're doing your own like Survivor contest, you're picking stuff, whatever, with your friends and family or something else, it's probably important you watch how to strategically plan out what you're going to be doing each and every week and then updating as you get new information from the players and the teams. But there's all of those videos, and then we have this one for Monday Night Football. Tomorrow, I'm recording this on Wednesday, is the first game of the NFL season. You have plenty of videos to win an insane amount of money this week, and then use that amount of money that the videos and the free version of the app you should have on your phone by now is giving you. You should have all of that. And then you're like, oh, now I can afford. You could already afford the $1.97 a day premium subscription. It's $1.97 a day. The rule of thumb is if you can't afford $1.97 a day, which is less than a cup of coffee, then you should not be betting on sports because it means you can't afford to lose money if you can't afford a cup of coffee a day. So that is the mindset you should be having. If you're like, oh, I can only bet this, but I can't spend an extra $2 a day, then you should not be betting. And that's not like me being sarcastic or anything. You literally should not be betting if you can't afford a $1.97 a day subscription that proves that it makes you more and helps you lose less. And we have 19 months of 60,000 members proving that. So if you haven't paid attention to the VIP testimonials channels or any of the reviews or anything, it's probably in your best interest to check them out. And over 17,000 of them are in Discord as well to help you out. There's no way in the world that you can reason betting on sports and not paying the $1.97 a day for the full access, for the full suite of everything, to get full access to the Discord as well, and be part of the think tank or the hive that works every single day this is all the members in the Discord and everything. They use the app every single day. They work together. Okay, what do you guys like here? Do you guys like this? And it's just a big think tank. That's the best part about the Discord. Super helpful. No such thing as dumb questions. But I've made it foolproof. There is zero reason that you can come up with anymore for not upgrading your account to full access. If you can afford to bet, you can afford PlayerProps.ai, and that's how I built it. I made it super affordable. If you can afford to bet, you can afford the $1.97 a day cost. If you can't afford to bet. You can't say, I don't know if this is going to work for me, because if it works for everybody else, it's going to work for you, because all you have to do is do what everyone else is doing. So it's not rocket science. And yes, there's a lot of numbers, and if you get overwhelmed by the amount of numbers and the bets and everything, and there's some people that do get overwhelmed by stuff like that, you don't have to really calculate anything. This app does everything for you. You just have to use the app exactly how the people who are dropping winning screenshots every single day in Discord, oh man, this guy has won $1,000 in profit every single day for the last 6 months. I wish I could do that. You can. You just have to do what he's doing or she's doing. They're using the app in a certain way. They're using the app as designed, following the guidelines, and that's why they're having the most success. When you follow the guidelines, you'll have the most success. But you got to upgrade your account. You got to get into the premium channels and be part of the rest of everyone else. There's over 60,000 members now that use this app. And then there's I think there's definitely over 17,000 of them that are in the Discord. So yeah, it's in your best interest to not let all your money on fire this NFL season and do all that. So I think that's going to be the team bet and the prop we're looking at. So we just looked at the prop we're doing, and the team thing was we're going to play around with this brand new tool, the team total predictor, and we're going to go under Bears 22.5. So both of ours are essentially, it's both Monday Night Football games. That's what the show's about. But we're going to do that prop that we mentioned earlier, and then we're going to do under 22.5. And I swear if you do under 21.5 and they score 22 exactly, you should stop betting, because I just told you how to find the best line or play around with all the different apps available to you. Anywho, that's enough rambling. That's what we're doing for Monday Night Football. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, because clearly you see that it prints money. The channel prints money. The app prints money. The Discord prints money, while you're on the outside watching everybody print money for whatever reason. But yeah, I have removed all possible reasons that you could have for not being part of premium, including the week pass. We're not doing this the entire NFL season. This is a week one only thing. If you've never ever upgraded your account before and you don't take advantage of the free week, stop betting on sports. You're not going to be successful. If you don't take advantage of the free week, and this is something we're only doing for the beginning of the NFL season, stop betting on sports. Sports betting gives you a 99% chance to lose money, and the only people that are part of that 1% are the ones that do everything possible to set themselves up for success. If you're not willing to set yourself up for success and invest in yourself, it's guaranteed you're going to be part of that 99%. Do the bare minimum. Focus. Learn how to use the app, which has buttons up top that will teach you how to use it. So you can't be like, I don't know what any of this stuff means. You do, because there's a button up here that tells you what it means. You have to do the bare minimum or you're not going to be successful. You can't rely on others. You have to put in the work. And the best part is that we make the work 5 minutes, because these videos that you click when you tap on this thing, they're not that long. And they teach you how to use it, and you only have to watch it once. Get the app. Get in the Discord. Connect your Discord accounts to unlock the channels. Upgrade your account, get full access, and then see why 60,000 other people are like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I should probably get this. Don't be on the outside looking in. It hasn't worked out for you so far. I want to see you succeed, but only if you want to see you succeed. So take care of business, and we'll see you guys in the Discord.